Hello, welcome back to Andian Autos Motorsport and the third instalment of the bits you missed previously. This one is valve cleaning and it's as interesting as it sounds. It's not. But it's got to be done, it's got to be done right. Because if you leave any carbon deposits on these, they're just going to build up and become really bad really quickly. So, here's the easiest way to do it that I've found. Now, some other people might say, oh, it's easier to do it like this. And I invite that. And if I have the equipment to do it, or the equipment doesn't cost a fortune, I'll go get one. Makes everyone's life easier. So, without further ado, let's crack on. Now, the one thing you have to remember with this is it does involve rotating machinery. Yes, it's a drill clamped in a vise, but it's still rotating. Now, the chances of things getting snagged are possible, highly possible. The chances of anything going wrong, if you're doing it correctly, is slim. Mainly because, one, I'm using an air drill on a slow speed, and everyone knows that slow speed equals low torque with air stuff. Now, I'm not using an electric drill because an electric drill gives permanent torque no matter what the RPM is. Air stuff doesn't. Now, yes, you can, if you're gripping it harder and it slows down, you can push the throttle a little bit more and gain some speed and torque. Yeah, you can do that. But that's down to you and your control. So, here it is. There's the setup. Airline, drill. I've just covered the drill because it's fairly new. In a vise. And here's a valve. It's an intake. It's not particularly dirty, but well, that seems easy. Valve. Red Scotch Brite. I think this stuff's got some red on it. But whatever you call that in your country, that's what we use. And we also use some of this, WD-40, which is like penetrating spray stuff, lubricant. Now I'm doing the talking now before I pull the trigger because obviously there's noise. And basically all we're going to do is spray one side, spray the other, be generous with it. Catching the drips because I don't want it to drip on my toolbox. And when I pull the trigger, I'm just basically going to run the Scotch-Brite round it, trying to avoid that ground part for the seat, and clean off the carbon. So here it is. One clean valve. That's quick. Now, you saw me use a screwdriver, and all I did, where this has got a little lip in it, from the sort of, unmachined centre, that little lip, I just got the screwdriver, put it on that lip, and cleaned everything off that was in that groove. Now the back's come up fine. Stayed away from that edge specifically so that when I relap it, it doesn't cost me a load more work and time. And that's a clean valve. Now if you get a particularly bad one, like this one, I don't know how well the there you go, you can see the carbon deposits on the front. What we'll do, just show you how to get rid of the bad stuff. Take your screwdriver, dry, wet, doesn't matter. Now that's got the worst of it off, as you can see. Obviously I've missed a couple of bits around the edge. I'm going to put it back in. To be honest, that bit around the edge there I can get off with the Scotch-Brite. But that trick is mainly for exhaust valves. Exhaust valves tend to be a lot more carboned up, especially the back side. Now you can use that trick on an exhaust valve, you can use it on the front, the back, whatever. But all it is it's just a really harsh way of getting thick carbon off quickly. You can do it with Scotch-Brite if you're worried about using a screwdriver and it pinging off. You can do it with Scotch-Brite, it'll take you a lot longer. It has the same end result, because I'm still going to finish it off with Scotch-Brite. But it just turns, if I had to do that without the screwdriver, it might have taken me a couple of minutes. As you saw, that took me a couple of seconds. Plus, this stuff clogs up if you start using it on heavy carbon stuff. So, it's fairly simple. To be honest, once you get the technique down, it's not particularly long. You can have, well, yeah, okay, a particularly bad valve might have taken me 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, so what? A particularly good one took me 2 or 3 minutes. A bad one might take you 5. So you've got 16 of them to do. What's that? A couple of hours. It's not the end of the world. What's that? No, it's an hour and a quarter. Hour and 20 minutes to clean all 16 valves up. It's not bad, but that's if you've got the technique right. But apart from that, fairly easy. Just keep going till you get a nice result. When they come up nice and shiny, like that one, the head, there's no lumps, it's nice and clean and shiny. Once they look like that, you're good to go. That's it, job done. Put it in the rack, next one. Be patient with it, because if it's not right, the engine won't last as long. It will last as long, but its performance will drop sooner, especially the exhausts with them being carboned up. Intakes tend not to get the carbon because that's the way things work. They get cleaned with the air-fuel ratio coming in, but they do still get carbon on the face of them. Again, not as much as the exhausts, but hey. So there you have it, the third bit that you missed, the oh so joyful valve cleaning. Now I put these 3 little installments in because a few people said, oh, we've done it off camera, how did you do it? Oh, fair enough, I can understand that. And that's basically how I do it. Now, I took a video of one of the intakes that I measured. 2 of them were actually bent. One of them, not so bad. If it was a road car, you'd quite happily put it back. If it was a road car, you wouldn't have checked them. But the other intake was bad. Now, previously, when I did intakes that I showed you, and some of the exhausts, and a brand new exhaust The run out was 0.01 to 0.02 millimeters. Okay, that's within tolerance, let's say. This intake I did was 0.32 millimeters. That won't seal. And you think, what's 0.3 of a mil? Nothing. It's nothing, but when you're trying to hold gas in a chamber under pressure, it's going to find the weakest spot, and that was it. So, gone through, all the valves are now straight. I've replaced them too. Easy does it. Simple, effective, maybe not particularly health and safety, but if you've got to get the job done, you've got to get the job done. So, if you like the video, please leave a like. If you like the content, please subscribe. Check us out over on Facebook, and I'll see you all again soon. Ciao.